It is 5:38, time to take our first check on traffic on this Tuesday morning. Good morning, Kelsey.
Hey, good morning,
Good
you guys.
morning.
Drier roads today, which will be helpful for a lot of travelers. Well, for now. That's exactly right. Let's give you a live look outside right now. Closed at 694 westbound to Lexington Avenue. That is scheduled to remain closed until November. Look down a little farther to your east. Just prepare once again for some delays. Highway 61 as you travel through Hastings. The single lane construction zone has been extended, and that's scheduled to last through the rest of this month. More construction news and other travel tips coming up in a little bit, but right now, since it's 5:39, let's get over to our weather. We talked about this yesterday, and today it is now officially in place. That ramp 694 westbound to Lexington Avenue, that is closed. That's only going to add to the congestion in this area as we've been having ongoing construction in Arden Hills. And a reminder today, this mostly affects boat traffic, but the Stillwater Lift Bridge will be down from 8 a.m. to noon today for some scheduled maintenance. It will not affect vehicle traffic, but we could see some interesting things happening around here today, so make sure you're being careful if you are on the road, just not stopping to check out what's happening. I'll look at the south side of town, still fairly light level. Some ongoing construction on 494 that could affect your overnight travel. I'll talk about that coming up here in a little bit. Tom and Don?
All right, thank you, Kelsey. Still to come.
Well, it is early, but already we have not one but two different crashes on Highway 36. Several emergency crews responding. I'll tell you about this. And with those high gas prices, I'll help you find where people are saying they're getting gas the cheapest here in the Twin Cities.
Road action there, Kelsey?
That's right. It's a lot like yesterday, Keith. We saw that in some of the areas where we were getting the rain, all of a sudden vehicles put the brakes on, trying to take it slow. Always a good idea to, drive for the conditions, but just note that when we do have the weather that causes people to drive for the conditions, you could see some slowdowns. Right now I'm watching 94 because up in the Northwest Metro yesterday when the rain started coming, as we're seeing now with some of those drops out there, that is when we saw some big slowdowns as you traveled Albertville down into Rogers. Today already starting to see some slowdowns, and it's a little early for that, so I want to make sure to give you a heads up. Another spot really having some trouble this morning is over on the east side at a couple different junctions of Highway 36. We've had some trouble. Now this is the dry patch. This is where Highway 36 actually flowing along. Bridge, even more action. Construction, yes, we'll talk about that coming up here in a little bit. But for now, guys, back over to you.
All right, thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Kelsey Sobey here. It is coming and going quickly, but it's enough in some parts of the Twin Cities area. It's slowing our drivers down. So look up in the Northwest Metro as you're traveling from Albertville on down into St. Michael. We see slow-moving traffic, bumper to bumper right here. You get a little farther east as you get toward that junction of Highway 241 in St. Michael, just west of Rogers, and you see the slowdowns here, at least. The grass is probably liking some of that rain out there. But as the rain comes in, it's moving out quickly here. 494, just about 10 minutes ago, we saw the rain coming down at Carlson Parkway at this hour. We're now seeing just the wet road surfaces. So be prepared. You may throw the wipers on here and there just to clear off the windshield. But it doesn't look west of there at the junction of 36 and 35E. That has mostly cleared. We're still working on this crash, though, up near Pine Springs. We go a little farther to the east on that same Highway 36, and that's where we're running into the Stillwater Lift Bridge issues. Later today, the lift bridge will be down from 8 a.m. to noon. That will not affect vehicle traffic, but it will affect water traffic and boaters. If we go to the Northwest Metro, again, the heavier traffic is where we see the moisture. The south side, a little bit better. I'll give you a closer look at that coming up in about 10 minutes. Stay with us. That's right, Keith. As you're saying, basically the rain is coming down here and there, but where it has come, that is where we're seeing the speeds go down. We're looking at 94, 95th Avenue. This is just a couple miles to the northwest of where Keith was just showing us that rain at the Maple Grove split. So do expect slowdowns along the 94 corridor up in the Northwest Metro. It continues to be slow from as far northwest as Albertville all the way into the Maple Grove area. The wet roadways and even the wet soil causing some trouble for some other travelers this morning. Check out the semi-truck up in the Northeast Metro traveling on 35E, maybe trying to pull over the side. I'm not exactly what it was trying to do, but it is now stuck in the mud. So the ground wet enough where a truck like this is not able to get itself out. So as you travel 35E near County Road J, watch for that. We could see drivers put the brakes on a little bit, simply wondering, will single lane construction 494 near Highway 100. So watch for that. We'll also talk about a major avenue closure up on 694. I'll talk about that in the 7 o'clock hour. Guys? All right.
Dated. And you meant, I didn't know this until I read social unrest, which thus the scamming about very high technical education.
Wow.
Interesting.
Who knew? I didn't know that about Romania.
Gymnasts and scammers.
There you go.
Yeah, so you may see
In the computer.
instead of putting it in the long way,
ATM.
you would put it in the sideways, so you're not reading it yourself when you pass it through.
Okay.
Because that's where they put the little phishing or scamming
Be like a
machines.
little jukebox taking a record.
That's exactly
yeah,
right.
Put it, it would put it in,
That's
it would rotate it in the machine, and then read it itself.
Sure.
Saying that could save us a lot of money. And it's cheese. And wildlife officials kicked off a Burmese python challenge aimed at cutting down on their population in those affected areas. because it can really damage the ecosystem.
Well, sure.
Because
Yeah.
when you're 128 pounds,
And
you
that-
eat a lot.
That big,
That's
you
right.
go after
Yeah.
pets and that kind of thing.
Isn't that gross?
Oh, that is. It's really
So one less python
Okay.
on the road.
One at a time. We'd like
Yeah.
them more like 10 at a time.
Isn't that a great night, though? You're out driving around, you see 3 feet of snake sticking out, you think, you know what? I think I'm going to pull that out of the trees.
Maybe not.
Barbecue.
Why?
People do eat it.
People who eat it.
Yeah.
Nice shoes.
All right, thanks.
Well, those wet roadways are causing some slowdowns in one particular area of I-94. Some very big slowdowns. Plus, 2 different vehicles in the ditch this morning and another truck stuck due to the wet soil. A lot coming up in your traffic report in 10 minutes.
Good morning, Kelsey.
Hey, good morning, you guys. It's like a repeat of yesterday where we had the rain come and random little bursts here and there. That's also where we have the slowdowns. And unfortunately, for those of you who travel 94 up in the Northwest Metro, it's more of the same, more slow speeds. 94 right now at County Road 37. This is up near Albertville, and we keep it slow like this, bumper to bumper conditions at times all the way into Maple Grove. Here's a look a little bit closer into the central metro area at Weaver Lake Road as you get closer to that 494 junction. Slow going here as well, so do allow some extra time if you travel I-94, as I said, up there in the far northwest metro. And then we look around to another spot where it is the wetness once again slowing us down. It sounds like a truck, a MnDOT source saying carrying 79,000 pounds of grain maybe rolled off the road and now can't get off the grass because it's so wet. It's basically muddy and the truck is stuck. So right now we are seeing 35 east southbound traffic distracted and slowed down by this. Looks like it's been cleared away, but still that northbound traffic slow going. Also today, the Lexington Avenue ramp off of 694 westbound is closed. That was scheduled to close yesterday, and so that's only going to add to the 694 congestion this morning. The time is 7:09. Let's get over to weather now and see how. Hi everyone, the time is now 7:26. I'm Kelsey Sobey. Some bursts of rain throughout the morning so far, especially in the Northwest Metro, have really slowed down our drivers. Check it out, 94 at 101. Stop and go conditions eastbound. It starts almost as far northwest as Albertville and continues on like this into Maple Grove. One word, woof. If you can avoid it, I would. We're even seeing the backups on 101. So if you travel 101 southbound, trying to get down to 94, see how slow it is here. We see bumper to bumper conditions at County Road 36. Looking also, we did have a crash 35W southbound at County Road I. That has now cleared, but we still have slow moving traffic starting as far north as Lino Lakes. A peek at the south side of town, not quite as bad as the north end where we've had some rain, but still some slow moving traffic along that 494 corridor. I'll have another update for you coming up in about 10 minutes. Right now, though, let's go out to M.A. Roscoe. Yeah, weather in our area today, definitely seeing the bursts of showers here and there, but as Keith's been talking about, really isolated to some small areas, but it's those areas where the drivers are putting on the brakes. I keep showing the Northwest Metro because this is really going to change how long it takes for you to get to your morning destination. If you travel from I-94, starting anywhere between Albertville and Maple Grove, and you'll find yourself sitting in some slow-moving traffic. The raindrops here indicating it is wet. We also saw some rain earlier along 494. People traveling southbound there had to put the brakes on, especially. Here's the look a little bit closer to Maple Grove at 101st Avenue. Slow speeds continue here. At least we're not in bumper to bumper mode. At least. And then we look to another spot where we are struggling a little bit related to the rain. Once again, a truck carrying 79,000 pounds of grain, according to a MnDOT source, possibly rolled off the road in some way. But the real issue is the truck can't get out because of that soft soil. And as a result, that's helping get things backed up all the way up north to Lino Lakes. But that crash has been cleared away. On the south end of town, heavy traffic on the crosstown and 494. I wouldn't say it's a lot more than you normally see, though, along those two main corridors during the time. About 7:36. We're pretty much in the heart of rush hour right now, guys.
All right. Thanks so much, Kelsey.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Kelsey Sobey. The time is 7:56, and you're waking up with the Fox 9 Morning News on this wet, sometimes rainy morning. We're dealing with not the wet factor down here on 494, just some construction-related congestion as you travel the 494 corridor this morning. This issue, nothing new since we've been doing that ongoing construction near the Xerxes Avenue Bridge. Overnight, still, we continue to see single-lane zones, so when you see some heavy traffic on 494 when it's dark out at the nighttime, don't be surprised. 94 Lexington Avenue westbound traffic slowing after a crash in this area, but despite having a few different crashes this morning and even some construction going on, it seems the weather is the biggest factor. A lot of you on the north side are experiencing the biggest slowdowns. Here we have soil so soft due to the rain that a truck that went off the road can't get back on the road. It's basically stuck in the mud and it doesn't. But at times we've seen bumper to bumper conditions starting from as far northwest as County Road 37, continuing through Rogers, breaking up a little bit between 101 down into Maple Grove, but still slow going overall. 169 also catching some of that rain. You saw that as we went to the commercial break a few minutes ago, that we do have some raindrops coming down. And again, it just causes drivers to put the brakes on, which is really what you should do. You always want to drive for the conditions. And we are seeing delays 694 as well. That isn't new, since we have construction going on in Arden Hills, but that Lexington Avenue ramp closing to 694 westbound, that is adding a whole new set of slowdowns for those of you traveling the 694 corridor. We'll talk more about our gas prices and where you can find the cheapest gas coming up in a little bit, so stay with us. The 8 o'clock crash in between the two downtowns, slowing traffic for 94 westbound travelers, but there's another stretch of 94 out there in the Twin Cities that's had it much worse than this most of the morning. I'll explain why coming up.
We have wet roads out there, and more than likely we have some snag-ups.
You know, it's too bad. It's actually kind of dramatic today. Sometimes a little rain, you know, we slowed down a little bit, not too bad. But today, Keith was describing little bursts of rain here and there, and that's exactly where we have just these random slowdowns. So a live look for you right now. Slower than usual, starting up in Crystal, continuing on into Golden Valley, then loosening up a little bit. That northwest quadrant, of course, has still been affected by that rain. Even 169 and Highway 10, a little slower speeds than usual for this time of day. Usually in the 8 o'clock hour, we start to see things on the north end of town calm a little bit, but because of the wet conditions, we haven't been able to do that. Still trying to pull a semi-truck out of the ditch after it just kind of rolled off a little bit, but because the soil's so wet, it basically just got stuck in the mud. Unfortunate for that driver and those of you traveling by there. 35E near County Road J. I look for you on the south side of town. Seems to me traffic has been the best in the south half throughout the morning, but still has its fair share of slowdowns, as you see there with the orange and red coloring. All right, it is 8:09. Time to talk weather on the 9s. Here's
Traffic trouble spots.
That's right, and we like to keep in touch with all of you out there after you get to your destination, letting me know how things were. And Jackie Koch, for example, saying she feels really lucky to have some back road options this morning due to the rain. In some spots, we saw some big slowdowns where things got wet. Here, 35W at 66th Street looking dry, some slow-moving traffic, I think related to an incident we had at Diamond Lake Road. We continue to see slow-moving traffic as you head northbound toward Minneapolis. But some of those wet zones, seeing some wet surfaces in 94. We also see them here, 494 at Fish Lake Road. Southbound traffic still slow up ramp 694 westbound to Lexington Avenue. Wet soil was a problem up here as a truck sort of just went off the road, kind of a minor issue, but then it couldn't get out because it was muddy. So that truck's still trying to get that cleared up there and still causing slowdowns. 35E southbound near County Road J. We just cleared a crash 94 at Lexington, but still some heavy traffic as you travel westbound St. Paul to Minneapolis. Check your south side of town as well. And we're starting to see speeds increase a little bit, but as usual, the weather playing a role in our morning traffic. Alex?
All right, thanks so much.